I'm Jay Douglas.
I'm Einstein.
Damn, Bonnie.
On abovecastlear.com.
Check it out.
I would like to start this episode by featuring an ATS member who possibly debunked the UFO sightings in New York. Kizzy provided us with dozens of threads, which we have been following during the shooting, and taking the burden of proof on StreetView, we agree this may be debunked. However, we would like to close this topic with a quote from member PK Puck.
All people viewing this subject obviously have a belief that something deep is going on in our skies. Whether or not this phenomenon is real, if even one picture or video is not fake, then there you have it. Something's going on. All we need is belief, and this should hopefully come out to the surface at some point in the near future. Last week's episode, we attacked McDonald's for choices they weren't making alone. Nearly every fast food corporation has made identical compromises that place profit over health.
Other interviewees were more united in a sense that what they were doing had health risks, but they felt pigeonholed by the prices.
For the most part, there is an agreement about the validity of climate change, as well as concerns for a market to be created for global warming for the benefit of capitalism. Our topic for this week will be the WikiLeaks files.
The disclosure of WikiLeaks giving proof to the war crimes that are being committed in our ongoing war of terror, we hit the streets today to find out opinions and general knowledge from New Yorkers. Do you think that America is guilty of war crimes?
From what I understand, every post-World War II president we've had has been guilty of war crimes. I think often the history's written by the conquerors and whatnot. And in terms of the particular situation in the Middle East and Afghanistan, Iraq, it seemed clear to me that we were committing war crimes, and I think the WikiLeaks only confirms, everyone's belief on that.
I mean, absolutely. Not only in this war, but the war with Afghanistan, and by this war I meant the Iraq War. It's been a pattern. I think a lot of countries are actually guilty of war crimes. Either way you look at it, I mean, war itself to me is a crime.
I don't think it's intentionally. I think that with any group of people the size of the military, you're going to have some bad people. I don't think you can control a huge number of people like the military has to control. So I bet there are individuals who have committed war crimes, but I don't think that it's a huge problem that's being directed down from the top.
I don't know through the films if they were actually, portray what actually happened, because some things could be taken out of context. So whether America is guilty or individuals are guilty, or if it was just all out of context, I'm not sure. So technically no. But I'm sure there's something fishy always.
As American civilians, how much do you think we should be able to know before it does jeopardize national security?
This whole thing is unprecedented. I don't know the exact ramifications this is going to have in the end, but to me it seems insignificant compared to the actual acts that are being committed. From what I understand, this is the biggest release of information in world history. I think it's pretty clear with the amount of footage, and they say this is only 50% of the videos. 50% of the footage through the time. So, honestly, the truth may hurt, but it's still the truth. And I believe in being brutally honest. We're talking about spreading democracy, and I think the videos show that if it's not our primary agenda, it's at least we're doing very heinous things. And thank the heavens that this stuff is being released. I think it's just very unfortunate, the situation that's happening.
I think they show more than we wanted people to see, because it threatens our national security, how we work and how we operate. And a lot of times too much information is bad information, because we're trying to find a war and we don't want to tell all of our enemies what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Right.
I don't know if I know enough to say that or not. From what I understand, there isn't anything on there that wasn't already somewhere else on the internet or somewhere else that news stations were reporting. So I don't think so, but I'm pretty far from the situation. I'm not certain.
And how much do you think, as American civilians, we should be allowed to know before it does cross the line of national security?
I don't mind being kept in the dark about certain things. I think that that the military is doing some tough stuff, and that that the soldiers' protection should be our number one priority, and if that means not talking to us about troop locations or what's going on, what type of tactics are being used, I'm okay with that.
Okay. And this guy, Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, they want to extradite him to to New York and to America, basically so that they can try him. What do you think that they would do to Julian Assange if they got him in the U.S.?
Well, I think the U.S. government would do anything they can in their power, but I think they should just, have it not much. I mean, you can't, he's not American, so you can't do too much. He's done a lot of bad stuff to America itself, but I just say, just let it be.
On the news, and we've been in this war for a long time. Do you feel that we've made any headway on this war on terror? Are we really stopping the terrorists?
No, not really. I think if anything, we're fueling the fire, and by putting them on the news constantly and giving them this attention, I think it's kind of encouraging them to do more. And the media seems to give distorted facts, I'd say. So I don't really trust our media.
Do you think the media has a hand in covering up these war crimes by not reporting?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at most of these, the media in the U.S. is pretty much owned by the government. If not the government, they're like senators who have a hand in, as far as like financing these media companies. And I think, they definitely hide some things from the general public.